Hey, everybody. Good morning and happy Friday. It's Friday, and thank goodness it could not come a day sooner because this has been a very long week, I think, for all of us, and probably you guys at home as well. I hope you had a good week, though, and I hope you'll stick around and watch today's episode of Tyngsborough TV Live. This is our Friday wrap-up. I am, of course, Town Media Director Steve Brogan, joined by Allison Page and Julia Coughlin. In studio, we're going to chat about a bunch of different things related to Festival of Trees, as well as some other fun stuff that's going on around town. Don't forget, you can watch this broadcast on Facebook on the multiple pages that we shared across, as well as now on YouTube, YouTube Live, so you can watch that on the comfort of your big TV screen on your wall or wherever it may be. You can also watch us on Comcast Channel 8 and Verizon Channel 29, and you can watch us through tyngsboroughmail.gov and our streaming service, so you can check us out multiple different ways. If you want to watch it in the comfort of your home or on your devices or whatever the case may be. So all that stuff said, stick around and we're going to talk about a bunch of different things. First thing I want to mention, Bob Morency just popped in and wanted us to remind everybody of the Hamburgers for Heroes event that's coming up. I don't have the details, Bob, so if you're still watching, if you can share that flyer, and then I'll bring that information up in just a little bit. But yeah, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of different stuff today. First and foremost, though, I want to mention that. So we want to talk about the Festival of Trees, which is coming up in December, obviously, when all that other holiday stuff usually happens. But the big thing is you're looking for volunteers to help out with putting the festival together. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're looking for, what kind of jobs you'd have people do, and all that kind of stuff.
Sure. We have quite a gamut of volunteer slots that we're looking for. So it could be as easy as sitting and selling raffle tickets the day of or the weekend of, because we run Thursday through Sunday. We need people to actually go out and, knock on doors, solicit trees and raffle donations. We have other jobs such as we have a cookie decorating, so we always need people to help with that. We have a senior tea. We need people for that. Any of the events that we hold during the week will need support. We're looking to expand a little bit this year with a winter carnival type of a event on Saturday afternoons.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So we'll need assistance with that. That's just an extra event with extra bodies needed. And then, of course, the big ones are always move-in day, which is transporting
the dozens and dozens, hundreds really even,
it's
right?
Like
of different
30
trees
to 50 trees. Yeah, we load in the back of that U-Haul and bring it over and set them up. So that takes a lot of bodies. And then on the end of that, when it's close-up time or the drawing time, that also takes a lot of bodies. So just the actual drawing of the event and calling and packaging and getting them into people's cars, that takes a lot of man hours too. So, there's all kinds of things to do that you can volunteer for. I know I have a lot of people who say, well, I'm not good at decorating. Well, that's fine.
You don't need decorators.
You don't need decorators necessarily.
Yeah.
We need man-hour bodies during the weekend of. So. Yeah.
So if you've never attended it before, this happens at Old Town Hall.
Correct.
And looking to expand into some other areas as well as soon as they're ready for use, I guess we'll say. Yes. But yeah, you fill up the entire building. It's a tremendous amount of work. I've sat with you for the couple days leading up to and during the event and just watched all the people come through and all the stuff that comes in. The building is completely full of stuff.
Right.
Which is cool.
Right.
You put a lot of work into that thing.
Yeah, it is full. And this year is actually our 10th anniversary. So it's kind of a milestone one, if you will. So we're looking to make, I know, right? So we're
make it big.
Yeah, we're trying to make it a little more special than usual. So, we'd like more tree donations. So we're soliciting, all the organizations. If you want to do one for your family, we've had people in the past do in memory of trees or family trees, just a family getting together. One of them does it as part of their Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, and they donate every year. So it's kind of fun. So that's a great tradition. If you'd like to, it doesn't have to be a huge tree. Could be something very simple, not going to cost you a lot of money, but just things like that. So we'd like as many trees as possible this year, just to kind of give us that 10th anniversary feel.
There we go. Yeah. So if you're interested, you want to do a tree, you can obviously contact you, a page at tyngsboroughma.gov. and you can take part in the Festival of Trees and the tree decorating part specifically. But obviously, you can help out with all the other volunteer opportunities. And you look for other things as well, right? So you're looking for people to play music, like for the choirs and those various groups that come through, I imagine, as well.
Right.
The music that's
Right. So we traditionally have had the schools come in. The Tyngsborough Public Schools, as well as Academy Notre Dame has come in. Innovation Academy has come in. So if they have,
they're excellent too. Those schools do a fantastic job.
It's amazing when you listen to them.
Yeah.
Singers. We're really thankful for our scouts that we get to come in and do the caroling for us outside on Saturday nights. That's always fun. So anything you want to offer up, if we can fit it into the schedule, we'll definitely look at it.
I know I'd like to do the projections that we did last year on the back of the first parish. I thought that looked really cool anyways.
It was.
Yeah.
And something fun, like a very simple addition, but just kind of made it that extra special touch.
Yeah.
It was a nice detail. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'd definitely like to do that again. I thought that was cool. So we'll have to talk more offline about that and the specifics of it and stuff. But,
well, next year when we have the parish online.
Yes. Hint, hint.
Not that I'm putting any pressure on anyone, but I am sort of.
Hint, hint, administration. We're just kidding. Not really.
We'll have both levels there. So we'll have the main level, which will be perfect for performances.
Yep.
So we'll definitely bring in more, live performances there.
Right, that would be really cool.
It'll be great. Yeah. It'll be a perfect spot.
And that's really the only thing that's limited the growth of the festival to this point is just the space that you have physically to work with.
Exactly.
You'd think the Old Town Hall, when you look at it, it's a pretty good sized building. It's not a tiny space for sure, but when you get 40 to 50 trees, and then you've got raffles and vendors, and the little boutique, which I think is a really nice little touch to have that in the corner there. I like that.
Yep.
I think it seems like a lot of people do. They like to be able to peruse the things. But then you have the events that happen downstairs, cookie decorating and tea and all that. So what are some of the others? I don't remember them all.
So we had paint night last year. So
That's
starting off on Thursday, we have a special event, which is kind of an invite-only event. It's all for donors and sponsors. Come in, we open up the building for the first time. So they get kind of the first view once we're all set to go. And then following that, we have some sort of event. So in the past years, we've done paint night. We did painting on glass last year. We're going to mix it up a little bit this year. So I'll hold off on that till I have it confirmed, but it's going to be something different. But still, a good night out, a nice fun night. And then we'll go on to Friday. We start the day with our senior tea, which is senior citizens free of charge. This year we have Cultural Council sponsoring for that, which is great.
Cool.
We host between 80 to 100 seniors come in. We have a nice tea set up for them.
They really seemed to enjoy that last year too. I took pictures of all those events, and they were like in hearing them talk as I walked around, they all loved the high tea. They like that.
Right. Well, and we do it. We do it like high tea. Right. We do the bone china, and we try to make it nice for them. It's something special. So we call it sip and see. They get to come and have their tea, and then go up and see all the trees. So that's free of charge to them.
And the building is handicap accessible. So if you have any issues or anything, there's an elevator there. It's a little treacherous, but it works.
Yeah.
So the building's completely handicapped accessible.
Right. Yep. Both up and down. So no matter where you're coming in from, you can get in. And then following that, we have the kids cookie decorating, which the Learning Experience came in last year and kind of ran that for us.
They did a great job with that too.
It was fun.
That was fun.
Their assistants were fabulous, and the kids had a ball. So that's fun.
The kids had balls of frosting. Literally, they were eating wads of. It was amazing. Like, you want to see a bunch of kids running around on sugar.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, they had a great time.
They did. Yeah, I got some good pictures. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I should mention while we're talking about this too. If you want to check out the pictures that we put up, you can go onto the Facebook page for the Festival of Trees. Julia, if you want to navigate to it, and we can show it. So if it's on my pages on the left side there, you'll see it.
Oh, well, I'm here.
The left side of my Facebook page. So.
I'm
there
here.
It is. Okay, yeah. So we can pop that up because there's bunches of really good photos. If you scroll down and go through there, so you can check that stuff out as you have time and want to see what's been going on.
Photos is right here on the left.
Last year, and I was disappointed to hear you say this. You had the best Santa Claus last year, and I'm so disappointed to hear. I was so disappointed to hear that he won't be back. Unfortunately, he has a prior commitment.
Yes.
So what are you going to do?
So calling all red suited men, we're seeking a new one.
We're taking applications
Where
now.
yeah.
If you have a beard and a red suit, you can apply.
Exactly. Yeah. Unfortunately, we'll be without Randy this year, but we will definitely find someone to fill our suit for sure. So that's on Saturday. So Saturday morning we open up again, and then Saturday pretty much runs the day with Just Festival, and then we have Saturday afternoon, which we're looking to make that a little more special. So we're looking for outdoor carnival type activities.
Okay.
In the winter?
In the winter, yeah. So we're hoping to go outside with it.
Cool, yeah.
Wow.
And then maybe have like vendors, not like the block party, but on that vein, that we'll have some vendors, something hot, warm soup, some chili, some hot dogs and hamburgers,
Sure,
some
I think
fried
that's
dough.
a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
Well, you
yeah.
have the side, you have the driveway of the building you could use, or
We do, or we might
and
use the front of Winslow. We might bring
Oh,
it up
okay.
a little bit
That's
to keep
cool,
it off
yeah.
the road for the little ones. But yeah, so that's kind of in the works, kind of in the talks. But that's going to be something new, just something for the afternoon. So that's an additional kind of offering for that day. So that'll be fun. And then of course the band will come in and play for us and. The fire department is always fabulous about delivering our jolly old men to start the countdown
Excellent.
for the
I love our firefighters. We have a
for the-
really great group
we
of guys
do.
who
We
like,
really do.
and women too, who just, they work really hard and they love to get involved in these community events,
I think
which is
that,
awesome.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like totally community orientated. Anything that's going on, they're there.
Always willing to give their time, which is
Yep.
nice.
We will light the common. So that's another volunteer position we're looking for. So we have a handful of men on the rec committee who start putting the lights on the common usually the end of October. So it's 100% volunteer. So all those lights that go on the common are put up by volunteers of the recreation committee.
That's all volunteer, huh?
It's all volunteer.
Wow.
And
Wow.
all of the lights, and we try to buy something new every year, also comes from the committee. So that's kind of a self-funding thing that I think people think the town itself is doing, and it's a handful, and I can literally mean a handful, maybe 5 people total
Wow.
that do that entire common area and everything.
I hope people grasp the amount of work that takes just setting up the lights. Because, I mean, for a lot of people, setting up lights is like their 7th circle of hell. I mean, really, it's like one of those projects, I just don't want to touch that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it makes it crazy. It's a lot of work for these guys
Yeah.
to put it. It takes a couple days
Oh, absolutely.
to get it all done.
It takes a couple of weeks by the time
right,
they're done.
by the time they,
Yeah. So we do have, again, one more added fun thing coming this year, which we won't divulge until we light the common.
Right, yes. Let's save some things.
Stay
for the
tuned,
That's right.
folks.
Stay tuned.
Surprise.
Right. So we will have something new coming this year, which will be, I think it's going to be pretty great. So, but again, I mean, if you can, loan us a couple of hours to string lights, we can certainly use you there too. That's a lot of work.
So if you're into that, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like personally, I've always ran a lot of cables, so for
Yeah.
doing
Well,
various things.
yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of fun for me. But if that's something you're into too, you could probably help out. You know,
Right. Yep.
definitely, and even
Or if you
even
want to
lighting
get in the
design.
Christmas spirit, I bet that would really put you in it.
Sure. I mean, and it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be in the dead of winter, when it's freezing. So we're going
Yeah.
to start in October and get things, lined up. And I think it will be good.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's a good addition.
I agree.
And then on Sunday, we usually have some sort of a floral workshop. So we'll see what it will be this year. We'll speak to Maureen Guerin, who is formerly of Blossom. She always does a nice holiday something. We did really fabulous centerpieces, bouquets last year. They were like,
Was that the ones you did here in Town Hall?
I think
was
she
that a
might have
different-
duplicated them here in Town Hall.
Okay.
It was actually, so everything we do is at Old Town Hall.
Right, I thought so. But I remember them doing last winter. There was an event
I think
here in the room where
yes.
they decorated centerpieces.
Through the
with-
library, yeah.
Okay, right,
Yeah,
that's
through the
right.
library.
It was
But
through
it's
the
very similar to what we do. So if you miss it with us, you can come here and vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah, she does a really good job.
Yeah.
They're very talented when it comes to flowers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the key to that is that she can tell you how to do it. Like you can be a good painter, but if you can't teach, your student's painting is not going to come out
Right.
well. So she's good at this. She's a good monitor of what you're doing.
Mine looks like stick figures. That's my artistic ability right there.
I
Yeah.
mean, same, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it makes it fun. You go home with something that you're happy to go home with, and
Right.
she's very caring and
Something you're not afraid to put on the mantle, for at least
Exactly.
for the holidays.
yeah. Yeah. So we'll announce what that's going to be as well
Excellent.
shortly. Yeah.
Excellent. So not only are you looking for volunteers to help out with the event with setup of all the various aspects, but you're also looking for any businesses who want to sponsor trees and whatever else
Right.
other aspects of the event.
Right. Right. So it is 100%. Your donation is 100% tax deductible. And there's 2 ways to do it. Actually, there's 3 ways to do it. So it could be as simple as a raffle item. If you are a service type industry that you would like to give, a certificate for whatever it may be, your business is in line with. It could be as simple as a raffle item, which will go down into our, selection of raffles. Or if you would like to get more in the tree spirit of it, we can take your tree, you design it, you bring it in, we'll, help you set it up there. And or you can donate funds, money, and we will decorate the tree
Toward
for
the tree.
you. So we do have designers who will work with you. Either, I know we have some who are like, you just do whatever you want. And others are like very specific about what they want. I would like my tree to be X this year.
That's
and,
me. Right here.
and they would, and the designers, they'll do it. Last year, and I'll use Pete because he's a good town donator. So Pete Nicosia came into us last year and he said, I want a chocolate tree. And we were like, oh my gosh, like how are we going to do a chocolate tree? But they did. So we got a form, and they literally put hundreds of Hershey bars
I remember
on
that
it.
one. That every single
Wow.
person who walked through that room was eyeballing those candy bars.
Yeah, so that was a sugar coma waiting
Yeah.
to happen. So
See, I think that's a really great idea, though, where you can, if you're a business, a lot of times you're busy. So you run your own business and you want to donate to this thing or you want to do a tree, but you don't have the time to sit there and like come up with an idea, then get all the stuff together, put the whole thing together. You can just give the money to you and you'll take care of the rest. And maybe they can either give you an idea or just say run with whatever cool ideas you might have
Right.
in your head already, which you have like seemingly thousands of really cool Christmas tree ideas. So how you even come up with it, I don't know.
I don't know.
Like,
We'd
do you
like
have
to
yeah. Not sure how that
I don't
works.
know either. I don't know. It's funny because you usually start with something. Like you'll find something and go, oh, there's a good idea. And I personally keep a list. So I keep
Do you? Okay.
I do.
I was going to ask you that.
If
yeah.
I think of something, I'll write it down. So I
Okay.
have my list going for this year. I have a couple. I like to think out of the box a little bit. Not that I don't love a traditional Christmas tree, because I do. There's just something about that traditional Christmas tree that's welcoming, I guess.
Right, yeah. Well, it probably reminds you of your childhood
Right.
and whatnot. So, yeah.
Nostalgic, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, that's, what we know, but I like something a little different, so I try to think outside of the box a little bit. So
There's been some really fantastic ones that have come through, too. I remember the Darth Vader one. That was pretty awesome. Oh, my goodness. I'm trying to remember them now, but there's been some really excellent
yeah.
and well-done trees. The one you did last year with the big display with the deer and the
Yes.
the mirror for the water, and that was awesome. It was like,
Yeah.
was it 3 or 4 trees
There
all
was
as one
3
big-
trees, yep, and
Yeah.
the deer. Yep, that was Dolan Funeral Home.
That was very nicely
yeah,
done.
It was
yeah,
great.
very tasteful and just really cool looking.
Yeah, yeah,
had
the
a lot
trees were
going on.
fabulous.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's not just trees. So you have you do like wreaths, and there's mini trees too. I think
There
I
are,
remember,
I
right?
was just
Yeah.
going to say, yeah. So we have, we called it Itsy Bitsy Trees
Mm-hmm.
last year. That was something new we started. So they're 18 inches and under.
Mm-hmm.
And we had all kinds of them. And they were we had some really cute ones. Really cute itsy bitsy trees. We had the old nostalgic ceramic one that has the little
Right, yeah. We actually have one of those. I don't believe it or not.
right.
Yeah.
So that was one of them. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my gosh,
I
this
remember
is
that.
so great. Yeah.
The Charlie Brown Christmas tree. I remember seeing that one.
The
Always a
Charlie Brown-
classic
yeah.
and a favorite.
And then we had the Campbell's soup.
Yes, I remember
in the
that.
pot
Yeah,
with the
right.
Campbell's soup ornaments and the spoons and everything. That was cute.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else we had. We had some good ones. We had a sea one. It was a seashore one, and we had some really cute little trees. So it can be very simple, and it doesn't. Again, it's not very costly to you if you're doing it personally. And it had its own little category. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And they're not just filled with like Christmas decor necessarily. Some of them have useful items on them. on some of those
We
trees.
had a
So
few
some of
that
them even
had
had money on them,
gift
which is
cards.
obviously useful.
Right. Well, we've had the lottery tree,
Right,
which
that's
was
right.
put in by media.
Yep, that was my tree,
Yeah,
my idea.
Yeah,
Kinda.
yeah. So
It was easy. So
yeah. Well, we had one last year as well. We had the lottery tree, which I think was very popular. It
Yeah.
by far had the most tickets in it. Because why wouldn't you take a chance at
right,
winning
exactly.
that?
Yeah, winner.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to think. I've lost my train of thought. What we had of something besides the lottery tree. I don't know. But
I don't
anyways,
recall. Yeah.
people are very creative with what they put on them.
Yeah, they come up with some
Yeah,
great stuff.
I guess gift cards is what I was getting at. A lot
Okay.
of them will have gift
Yep.
cards included with the tree. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So lots of really cool stuff for people to come in and take part in, donate their time, or just to walk through and look and listen. Look at the trees and listen to the music. So
Right.
there's really something there for everybody. Provided you like the holiday stuff, of course. I mean, if you don't like the holidays, then bah humbug to you. But no offense, of course. But there's lots of really cool stuff to come down and see. Hot chocolate. You've got snacks and food downstairs,
Right.
which is always nice.
Right. So in the boutique area, we have local vendors who, bring their wares in, and we have them all set up for the for purchase. And we do take plastic. So that was one of the questions. But strictly for the boutique, we cannot take plastic for the raffle tickets themselves. And then we have Bittersweet Bakery, who bakes us fresh cookies daily that we sell with some hot chocolate or coffee, whichever you prefer, which is a nice addition downstairs. Hang out for a little while, do some shopping, look at the raffle items.
Have you thought of doing any kind of like charity drives for the event? So like everybody brings one can of soup or something, or canned good for donation to say the Merrimack Valley Food Bank or something like that.
Right. We haven't, but I think that's something that we're going to look at this year.
Oh, cool.
Just because our admission is free, we're not charging you to come in. We want you to come. So
Excellent point,
that
yeah.
would be a nice 10th anniversary, something new, do something back for the community type of an event. Sure.
Yeah, that would be cool. Because I mean, I think of it because around the holidays there's always that big push
Right.
to help them out because
Yep.
there's so many families in need. So
Right. And
Yeah.
we're early enough, I think, that it would be helpful. We're not past, not that it's not always helpful. It's always helpful. But yeah, I mean, it's early enough in the month that we could contribute to someone's Christmas in a great way.
excellent.
Yeah.
So very a great deal of things that you can
Yes.
participate in and help with, which
Right.
is really cool if you attend the festival or want to be a volunteer. So that's
Right.
pretty cool.
So also daily we have, two things. We have the children's crafts that we have free of charge. We have a baggie and it has multiple crafts in it, usually 4 or 5 crafts. The kids can stay and make the crafts, so you can take it home and let them make them later. It's always some sort of a fun holiday related type of event. So those are fun. And then, so we do have judging as well. So we have judges, actually. We have usually 5 or 6 judges who come in and go through the festival before we open on Thursday, and we come up with our overall winners. And it's 2 categories. The tree category has a subcategory for the mini trees now, the
Okay.
itsy bitsy trees. So there's 2 categories there, so 1, 2, and 3. And then we have the other category, which would be wreaths and mantle decor and things like that. So that's kind of fun to see what's going on. And then daily we have this one, which is the People's Choice one.
Oh, okay.
And
Yes.
so people come
Remember
in
that.
and
I
there's a
remember that ribbon.
ballot. Yeah, there's a ballot every day. So you walk around, you have your little ballot and pick your favorites. And it's in both categories. So it would be your tree favorite and your other favorite. And we tabulate them every day and we put a new ribbon on them every day. So it's fun because it's hardly ever the same tree or the same wreath. It's funny.
Yeah.
So,
That is
I mean,
fun.
it's great because there's different people like different things, I guess. So it's kind of
Everything's
fun to
subjective,
see
right,
daily.
yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So
And,
that's
and
kind
then
of fun.
on top of that, you've got the competition of staff trees, all
We
the
do.
town hall decorated trees, which I'm coming for you, highway department, this year.
Wow.
They always seem to win somehow. I don't know. They pull out this rabbit
I
and seem to
know.
win that thing.
Yeah.
But they had that upside down tree last
Yeah.
year? Yeah, last year, I think. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So, so we have a municipal vote. So we have a little challenge going on with all the town departments here. So get your tree in, and we vote. And actually, it was split this year between highway and the inspectional services.
I remember
group.
that. Yeah.
So we kind of had a tie. So they had to trade the trophy halfway through the year.
Right. They each got 6 months worth of.
Yeah. But that's it's a fun little competition, and it gets everybody here in the spirit and gets things going. It's fun.
Right. Bob Moretzi's giving me faces on Facebook. I'm watching you. I'm telling you, I'm going to get you guys. I don't know. I don't think I ever will, but I'll try.
Yeah. And then we have also the I Spy for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So when the kids come in, we give them this little list. They have to go around and find certain items on trees.
Oh, the scavenger hunt, right.
Yeah. And that's
Oh,
always
so
fun. It is
Yeah.
fun. So we have a few things. And sometimes it's funny because I remember a few years back we had a vintage Coke bottle holder, the wooden crates.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids didn't know what it was. And that was one of the things on the... So it was funny. We also had a telephone as one of the things, which was an old school rotary dial phone. And the kids didn't know what that was
how
either.
to use it, much less what it is.
It was funny. So we try to put something out of the box on there, too, that it's kind of fun for them to figure out what it is. Yeah.
That is pretty cool. I had something in my mind, and then it just
I'm
totally
sorry.
escaped.
I'm pulling you.
No,
off
it's
track.
okay. It's okay. Dang it. It'll come to me. So the dates, do you have the dates for the event?
So we start on November 29th this year, which is the Thursday, right through the 2nd. So December 2nd, Sunday is our last day. So Thursday is really just the donor vendor night, as well as whatever event we're having, paint night or whatever it may be this year. And then we begin at noontime on Friday, 10 o'clock on both Saturday and Sunday.
Excellent. Oh, I know what my question was. So the trees after the fact, they go home with the winners from the raffles, basically, right?
Correct. So it's like a penny sale event. So you purchase your amount of tickets, whatever you desire, and you go around and just distribute your tickets into jugs, basically, of the ones that you are interested in winning. So we have a whole process for that, and we draw and call you, and Monday is pickup day. So you can win potentially as many tickets as you buy. So
Right.
yeah.
So if you're sort of lazy like me when it comes to Christmas trees, you might even win the tree that you like, and then you don't even have to decorate a tree.
That's right.
Which is cool. You come take it home and pop it right into your favorite
so
spot at home.
Right, and we bag it up. So
Yep.
it's not
Yep.
that we're going to take it all apart on you. We literally bag it up. Everything's wired on there, so it should get home fairly close to the way it looked in the festival.
I got to say, when it comes to watching you put those trees together, and then the fact that you're able to move them as many times as you do, and they still look just as good as the day you put it together, that's a testament to some skill right there.
Yeah.
I don't have that, so I envy that.
That's okay.
I'm like literally when it's me, I'm like hanging it from the top branches, and they're like falling off of the other branches. I'm so bad. My wife's laughing at me usually.
That's funny. I tell people that I can decorate a tree, but I'm not good at math, or I'm not good at whatever. It's like we all have our strong points. So.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Right.
Yeah.
So another cool benefit from going to the festival is you can obviously potentially win a tree and multiple other things as well, wreaths and all that other stuff.
And the raffle items.
And the raffle items, right? Which there's some good ones. You've had Red Sox tickets and Patriots tickets and other stuff other than just tickets, of course, but like lots of cool raffles.
Last year we had fabulous raffles, and that was in part to our committee member, Marina Federson. She did a great job. We had more raffle items than we had ever had, and really super high quality raffle items, which was nice.
There was like restaurant gift cards and massages, and
we had some nice baskets too.
Yeah.
And apparel, and we had some fabulous ones, and I'm sure she's already working on it. So
is she? Excellent.
Yep.
Good. Well, I got to say that the crew that puts this together, yourself included, of course, do a fantastic job. It looks beautiful every year. It looks like you had a paid staff that puts a lot of heart and effort into this thing. When really you don't. It's you and a bunch of volunteers that put this whole thing together. So hats off to you guys, because you do a really good job with that.
Yeah, I have a very hardworking committee. Teresa Clausen is, God love her, she puts more hours into this event than than anyone, I think. She's always looking for, new donors, new sponsors, new raffle, you name it, she's out there. So when she comes knocking on your door, be nice to her.
She even donates herself and her son to sing and play music. Her son plays violin.
Yes.
And she comes on and she'll sing some Christmas carols. So, yeah, she works hard.
Yeah,
good job,
she
Teresa.
does. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, cool. So one more time, hit me with the dates again so
Okay,
we can
so we
remind
start
everybody.
December 29th, Thursday, December 29th through.
November.
I'm sorry. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, Julia.
I got you.
Watching me. November 29th through December 2nd, Sunday, December 2nd.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Cool. So anything else you want to tell folks about with regards to the festival? Or
No, just get a hold of us. If there's anything you think you can do or you want to get involved in, if you've never done, volunteer hours or something, this is a great one to get your toes wet with. It's fun. People are happy to be there. There's no, issues usually with anything.
does this count as community service hours?
It does.
There you go.
So if you're NHS and you need community service hours, I don't know if the catechism group still does community service hours, but if you need any sort of hours, we'll gladly sign off on your sheets and write you letters, whatever you need. And it's great for your college apps too.
Oh, yeah, right.
So the kids, we have a few who have come to us already. They're looking to do their applications, and this is a great little bonus that you're, involved in your community. They like to see that.
Excellent.
Yeah, they do.
Excellent. Yes, so many different opportunities and ways you can not only help the festival, but then you can help yourself a little bit too.
Exactly.
Whether it's through community service or winning a tree or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. All right.
Just come have fun.
Excellent. So very cool stuff and lots of fun scheduled to happen at the at this year's Festival of Trees, which should be pretty cool. And then we'll obviously have the big tree lighting. Will Lowell High School, Tewksbury. What town am I in? Tyngsborough. Man. All right. Sorry. This show brought to you by caffeine. I have not had enough of this. I was up very late with my son and in the earliest morning. Excuse me. Tyngsborough High School,
Yes.
will they be here to perform?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, yeah. Mr. Eaton brings the school band in, and they play for about half an hour right before we light the trees. They're part of that whole lighting of the tree ceremony. They do a great job every year. God love them. They sit outside and play. Sometimes it's been super cold, which is not
They'll brave the
advantageous
elements.
to their instruments either.
They're all like frozen to their instruments by the end of the thing.
Yeah, and they're trying to play these poor instruments. But God love them. They do a great job, and he bears with us. We keep promising him we're going to have an indoor venue for him eventually. So he's a good sport.
I got to say, Matt Eaton is one of the best band directors that I've seen, and that those kids turn out music. I mean, it sounds like they're literally paid professionals when they're high school kids. It's awesome. He does a really great job, and those kids have some talent. They're definitely no slouches when it comes to playing their instruments. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, so good. So there's music, there's fun, there's trees, there's raffles, there's shopping, there's volunteer opportunities. All kinds of stuff. Yep. So definitely.
And it's all free.
And it's all free, right?
Just come. You know, again, you pick and choose what you want to spend your money on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool.
Where do you park for that?
So we have the parking behind the meeting house. The parish meeting house is parking there. There's parking all along Winslow Drive, which is that cut-through road. And then you can also park up at Winslow. Okay. So on the paved area. I suppose you could park here at Town Hall. It would be a little bit of a walk. It's a little walk because we will not have shuttle services for this. So, but it's not everybody all at once. So it's kind of a turnover type thing. Like you probably come and be with us for an hour, and then be on your way. So parking is not usually a huge issue.
The only time I would imagine you'd have an issue is during when Santa Claus is there for that part. Saturday night, right? So that's when the one big group of people will be there. So you'll want to explore your parking options for sure. Yeah, and it will be blocked off. So we do have the side street blocked off for that. And there are police details, and they can of course help you, direct you, and whatnot. So excellent. Good. So lots of really cool stuff for you guys. Festival of Trees is always fun. I enjoy it for sure. I enjoy taking pictures and seeing the smiles on people's faces and the kids, and they have so much fun. Just like there's a lot of awestructedness, if that's a word, from all these people. They look around and like, wow, it's in every turn there's like something new and different and exciting. So it's pretty cool to like catch those reactions and stuff. I like that. Definitely enjoy that. So lots of volunteer opportunities. Definitely contact Allison if you have any questions. You can get information through tyngsboroughRec.com, or actually if you search Tyngsborough Rec and your new website. We didn't talk about your
Nope.
new website, did we? Yeah, we should do that
Yeah.
before we wrap this up, or wrap up at least this part. So, Julie, do you have that? Yeah,
Yep.
you got it. Okay, good. Wrong side. All right, here we go. So we're going to bring up the website. So there is Allison's website. You can go and contact, as well as look at all the different events and stuff like that you put on. Which it's not just festival. I mean, you do tons of different events around town, including all the sports stuff.
Right.
You put together a lot of the youth sports stuff, or coordinated anyways with
We
the
do.
fields and stuff. Yeah.
Well, we coordinate all of the fields, but
Mhm.
we also have the softball program. The girls' softball program is run by us, as well as the youth basketball program.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a men's pickup league basketball program that runs as well. So if you're looking for something sport related, but I'd just like to mention on the top there, the scrolling pictures are different events,
Mm-hmm.
usually of what is going on. But at the very top, there's some green icons, and there's one that's hands grasping, is kind of to the right there.
Volunteers, yep.
It says volunteers. So that would be, if you're interested in being a sports coach for any of our things, or you want to volunteer for this particular event, if you just click on that, it'll bring you right into a page, and you just fill out your information, and we'll contact you. There's one specific for festival, and then there's a few that are specific for the sports
Mhm.
as well.
Excellent.
Just, kind of asking you what you're looking to do. But if you ever, don't want to go through that process, just email us. We're, good about getting back on email.
Mhm.
And we do have a specific email for festival. Not that you need to use it. Either way, it's coming to me. But we have Holiday Festival of Trees at Gmail, specific set up for questions about the Festival of Trees. But either way, it gets to us.
Excellent, excellent. So if you want to find that, you can search either search Google Tyngsborough Rec, and it'll be literally the first thing that comes up,
Yeah.
the first search item. Or you can go through the town website, tyngsboroughma.gov, and you can navigate through a couple
Right.
pages to get to it's a little bit more convoluted getting to it there. But
Yeah.
so just Google Tyngsborough Rec, and
Yeah.
you'll come right up with it pretty easy. In fact, I think you can do tyngsboroughRec.com, and I was able to get through it. It went to it, but it was a redirect to this new site. So
Yes.
yeah, that worked as well.
Right. So it is the same address as the old website.
Mhm.
So I know some people were having trouble because it was having like a cookies with it that kept bringing them back to the old site.
Oh,
So
okay.
try
Yeah.
a new browser, or get rid of your cookies and try it again.
Trashy cookies. I've had to do that a few times. Yeah.
Yep. So, but it is the same. It should, if you Google it, it should bring you to the new site.
I don't usually like to trash cookies either. I'll eat them, but I'm just kidding. So any questions for Allison, a page at tyngsboroughma.gov, or you can go through the contact section on her website, tyngsboroughRec.com, and get all the information that you want to get. Ask about volunteer opportunities and whatever else you want to do, donations, and
Yep.
And even just get some of the details about the event. Lots of fun. It's going to be a good time.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. So moving on, I wanted to actually, Julia, can you bring up that Hamburgers for Heroes slide one more time when you get a
Yes.
second? Just want to make sure we mention that, because that's coming up on the 23rd of this month.
Right.
We are literally one day away from the end of summer, and it feels like somebody
Ooh.
turned the heat off already, like a couple days ago,
I
even
know.
like preemptively. Come on, seriously, can we at least get till the end of the summer? But maybe we'll get an Indian summer. I don't know. I got my fingers crossed.
Don't hold your breath.
But I'm not. I'm
It's
literally
cold.
not. It is cold. All right. So let's bring this up. So this is the 3rd annual Hamburgers for Heroes, September 23rd from 1 to 5 at the Tyngsborough Sportsman's Club. They do great events over there. It's a great group of guys and women. And this is one of the many benefits that they put on throughout the year. I think they do a Thanksgiving one as well,
Yeah.
and some other ones. They support some of the police events, their bike rides and stuff like that. So they do a really nice job over there. But this one specifically is to help out our veterans. So if you want to go down and support that a little bit, maybe offer a donation or just have a hamburger, be a good opportunity to do that. And I'm sure they'll have lots of fun stuff. They've got raffles. A bar, which is always fun, cornhole, horseshoes, and a trout pond if you want to go fishing. I mean, you got to have a bar if you're going to go fishing, right? You can't go fishing without a couple beers. Just kidding. Some people can. Makes it pass the time. I never
guess.
understood guys who like to go fishing and they sit in a boat for like 12 hours, with this pole in their, I don't know.
Waiting.
But, yeah, just waiting, literally just waiting,
That's the beauty of it, Steve.
I guess so. I don't know. But anyways, they do a really great job with the Hamburgers for Heroes event. That's part of Bob Morenzi's crew putting that together. So
Right. Which I think is kudos for
mhm.
just our town employees.
Yeah.
That he's a town employee, and this
Mhm.
is, we have great town employees that are involved in many, many things.
We really do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of very philanthropic employees
Yeah,
here. They
there are.
like to support different events and organizations, and some of them obviously their own as well. Like the firefighters always help support the Tyngsborough Firefighters Association, but
Right.
they do other stuff. They support a lot of the other festivals, the block party.
Yep.
They were like instrumental in helping us
Instrumental,
clean up some of that and
for
put it
sure.
together, and so they're very very
Yep.
supportive community around here. So one more time, September 23rd, which is obviously coming up this weekend. That's Sunday, right? Yeah, Sunday.
Mhm.
Sunday. So you can first day of fall. You can ring in the fall year and fall season rather, and support your veterans. So pretty cool stuff. And that is on my page. Julia, I don't know if you can share it. Maybe you can just grab the image and pop it in the comment sections for folks, so if they want to check that out as well.
It's on our page as well. It's
Okay,
on
good.
Tyngsborough Rec page as well.
Excellent, excellent. I also want to mention that I'm putting together a debate. This has been a fun experience trying to put this thing together, let me tell you. But I'm putting together a debate for the town for the 36th Middlesex District, which is Colleen Gary's seat. That's the position that she holds as the state representative. So I'll be putting together a debate. It's going to be October 16th from 6 to 8 p.m. So far, we've got Bill Gilman of Your Drake It Today, and actually I think he does Your Tyngsborough today as well. He's going to be one of our questioners. I'm waiting on confirmation from one other, so I won't mention them just yet. I'm going to be moderating it, and we're going to do this in kind of a new, I won't say new fashion, but in a different style, I guess, from other debates that I've seen. Having covered so many of them over the years, I've probably done like 2 or 3 dozen of these things. I've seen a lot of different styles and different ways to do it, but I kind of wanted to come up with my own way to make this unique and give you the most amount of information that you can possibly get. So there'll be a lot of citizen questions. We've opened it up multiple different ways for you to submit your questions from social media and email to back to traditional telephone. So no matter what, no matter how you are accessible or able to be access us so that you can ask your question, we have those opportunities open for you. The only thing that we're not going to have for this event is there's not going to be a live studio audience. And there's a few reasons for it. One of them is I'm doing most of this myself, so it's kind of difficult to set up all of this stuff on the back end and coordinating this thing, which has not been easy, I'll tell you that right now. And also set up and build a set. This room, when I set this room up for the selectmen debates and stuff, it takes me a good solid day to get everything put together, and that's not counting getting graphics and all the other stuff ready to go for air. So that's one of the reasons. The other one is really it's just with all the questions and the abilities that we've given people to ask their questions, I feel like it wasn't overly necessary to have a live audience. But anyways, I'm going to allow 4 people to come in studio and ask their question live. So if you are so inclined and you're one of those people that desperately wants to ask you a question in person, you can do that. You can be one of those people. You can contact me, sbrogan@tyngsborough.gov, and you got to be from Tyngsborough or Drake It. No outsiders for this one, because this is strictly Tyngsborough Drake It. What this race is for. But if you are from one of those 2 communities and you'd like to be one of those 4 questioners, feel free to email me sbrogan@tyngsborough.gov, and I'll be happy to hear what you have to say and look at your question. And provided it's not a duplicated question, we'd like some unique questions, then I'd be happy to have you come down in studio, and you can come sit on the other side of the screen, and when it's your turn, you can come up and ask your question on live camera, and then even ask a follow-up question, depending on what the answer was, so if you like the answer or not. So pretty cool stuff. So been working really hard on the back end trying to make this all possible, coordinating not only the candidates but also the all the media stuff. Both candidates have accepted, so Colleen Gary and Ray Lazinski will both be here, which is great because you can't have a debate with one person. Sort of defeats the purpose. But it will be in its true form of a debate. It will be a debate. So there'll be questions posed, and they'll be allowed to go back and forth with each other. Why and why not on whatever the subject may be. And as I said, there'll be multiple people asking questions. So there'll be community questions. Bill Gilman will be asking questions, and then hopefully the third media partner, if they will finally confirm with me. They'll be asking questions as well, and I'll let everybody basically ask 2 questions, and then we'll kind of keep going around the room. There's going to be some lightning round questions where they're just going to be up or down, yes or no type questions or answers. Lots of different cool ways, and I will be monitoring Facebook, looking for other follow-up questions from folks. So if you have something interesting to ask or add on to the conversation, you're welcome to do it that way. But I will also have people monitoring and looking for the longer form questions on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, email through my email, sbrogan@tyngsborough. I'm going to be using debate@tyngsborough.gov. And then also the telephone, like I said. So just tons of different ways you guys can interact and ask and be part of the debate. And truly, that's really what my goal was to get the community involved. as much as I possibly could with the means that I have available to me to get your questions answered of your state representatives. So any questions on that? I will be posting some of this stuff as soon as I do finally get confirmation from my last media partner. I'll be posting that stuff up on our Facebook page and Twitter and everywhere else so that you can get that info. But definitely mark your calendars. It will be happening October 16th from 6 to 8 p.m. And again, this will be live in Tyngsborough, live in Drake on TV, Comcast and Verizon here in town, and Tyngsborough and Comcast in Drake, as well as all of our other avenues, Facebook, YouTube, and whatever other sources decide to pick up and stream it. So you'll be able to watch this. Oh, and I shouldn't forget, it'll also be on the radio. 980 WCAP is also going to be carrying this. So, whatever device you have at home, whether it's an old radio or a TV or your cell phone, tablet, computer, whatever the case may be, there's practically no way that you can't watch this, or get this information, hear this debate in some way, shape, or form. So, again, been working really hard to try to open this up as best as possible. So I'm hoping that you guys will tune in. Hope you guys will be asking questions, because that's really what I want to see. I want to see the community get involved. We'll have some questions here already set as I'll be gathering them ahead of time from community members, but I'd like to see a lot of live participation if we can get it, to keep the, kind of hold our challengers, hold our these two folks that are running for this office accountable, I guess, for lack of a better word. I want to hear the good, honest questions from the community of why this candidate should get your vote. So it's going to be pretty cool. Again, October 16th from 6 to 8 p.m. Any questions, feel free to email me, sbrogan@tyngsboroughma.gov. If you want to be one of those 4 people that comes into the live studio, same email address, let me know, and we will chat further about that. And if you want to submit questions ahead of time leading up to the October 16th date, you can email debate@tyngsboroughma.gov. And Julia, if you would throw that in the comment section for me, debate@tyngsboroughma.gov. You can send us emails that way. And you can, have those already in the list, so already in the queue. And like I said, we'll be getting questions live that night too, so you don't necessarily have to send it in early, but always kind of cool. So just wanted to make sure and mention that. And again, I'll be sharing that stuff out in the very the very near future, the actual flyer and all that other stuff, but just waiting on some last confirmation. So let's see, what else did we want to talk about today, Julia? What else we got going on?
You mentioned Ashley Makovich.
Oh, yeah,
know what
right.
That's about.
So, Allison, you mentioned the Winslow School, and that just totally reminded me that they've been working very hard at putting together a big reunion, and I don't have the date on me at this actual point in time. Wondering if anybody's actually watching that might have that debate from that committee. But as soon as I get the information, they did, from what I understand, pick an actual date for this big reunion of the Winslow School students there. So they have a date. Yeah, you were one of them, right? You went to the Winslow School. Well, didn't you say you were one of the last classes too?
One of the last.
One of the last, yeah.
Yep.
So they did pick a debate. Oh my goodness, debate is on my brain. You can tell what I've been thinking about lately. They did pick a date for this event. I'll as soon as I get it, I'll let you guys know. And I'm going to try to get Ashley Makovich to come in and talk about it, because she's been working very hard with the Historical Commission to put this all together. So as soon as I can, I'll get her in, and we can get some more info on that if you are wondering. So hopefully, or wondering if anybody out there is actually, how many people are from the Winslow School that still live in town. I'm sure a lot of kids went through that, because they were open in like the 20s, I think, right? And even a little before that. Something like
I know
that.
both my parents were there.
Yeah. Okay. So so
right up through my children. So that's quite an age.
Wow.
range.
Yeah. Right.
Huge, yeah.
Right. It's pretty neat that it's funny that schools stick around that long. You know what I mean? They've literally trained generations of our children, and our families and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. But that'll be pretty neat. So I think they're going to they want to actually try to be able to get in to the school, maybe if they can. Safety reasons are a little tricky, but at least to the front of it to take pictures and show people and stuff like that. So just for nostalgia and memories, because the building isn't quite the same as the way it was when it was first built. It's been added onto multiple times, But yeah, so it would be pretty cool. As soon as I can get some details, we'll definitely do that. Julia, what else do we have on the list?
Going back to debate real quick.
Okay.
The day after the debate is the last day you can register to vote.
Thank you for reminding me of that. Yes, very important. So in talking with our town clerk, October 17th is the last day that you can register to vote. We'll be doing sort of, not necessarily a huge push, but we'll be putting out information to make it easy. It's actually like about as easy as you could possibly ever imagine it to be. You can go to the state's website, mass.gov. You go to the Secretary of the Commonwealth's page on the website, and there is a, actually, can you pull it up, Julia, on your computer screen? I have it over here. Let me see, actually I have to go to a different browser because I had it up on another page. If you go to mass.gov, let me see if I can just pop the link in real quick to make it easy. It's very, very easy to do.
Oh, yeah.
So the actual web address is sec.state.ma.us, sec.state.ma.us is the actual web address, but it's part of the mass.gov system there. So I just popped his page into the comment section if you wanted to grab it there. But there is a elections and voting tab. You can click on that, and then there is a online voter registration system. So it's literally about as easy as you could possibly ever want it to be, and you just basically follow the prompts and give your information, and you can become registered that way. Or you can come down to town hall, talk to our town clerk in person, and you can do your information through that as well, and get registered to vote. So if you want to vote, now's definitely the time to do it because your time will be running out. So that is the day after our debate. So I'll definitely be mentioning that quite a bit to remind folks that you can still register to vote.
Yep, and that date is the 17th?
October 17th, correct.
Yes,
Yep.
so that's your last day to register. It's super easy. So before our last election, I was not registered to vote, and I was, I think, 22, 23, and I hadn't registered to vote, but I really wanted to, and I actually ended up going online. It took me 5 minutes. Seriously, like 5 minutes. So
and you don't need much for information, just your license, really.
Yep.
They just want to know that you live in the state that you're.
Yep, it was super simple. So anyone that wants to vote, just log online and search. I literally did a Google search for how can I register to vote in Mass, and it came up. So
excellent. Yeah, so it's really easy. There's lots of ways you can do it. I mean, obviously online, you can come down to the town clerk. So definitely take advantage of that. That is your civic duty. And when you think about it, and I know I always kind of harp on this a little bit, but the votes that happen, people love to vote for president, and they love to vote for senator, and so on and so forth, which is fine. That's of course you should be voting for those things. But for whatever reason, when there's not a presidential election, the numbers go way down when it comes to local elections as far as how many people actually come out and cast their vote. And that it seems counterproductive to me because the president makes a decision, and yes, it may affect us a little bit here and there, but at the same time, most of those things that happen up there don't directly affect our lives. But the decisions that happen at your state senator, your state rep, your selectman, and all these different races around town, those are what actually make the difference. That's your trash pickup. That's your schools. That's your roads and your highway departments and your fire and your police and all that stuff. I mean, those really make those decisions.
Yes.
So you should really make it a point to get out and vote for that. I know it can be tough. People have schedules and things like that, but voting is open till 8 p.m. You can go out and vote till. So you've got plenty of time to get out there and do what you got to do, and you've got plenty of time still to register if you're not already. If you're a younger kid and you haven't done that yet, take the time, start casting your vote, because as soon as you hit 18, you're good to go. You can start registering. You can start voting. So definitely take advantage of that. Very, very important. I wish more people would take advantage of their civic duty and not view it as an annoyance so much as an important aspect of the living in this country that we live in, because why it's the way it is. It's why our country is one of the greatest, if not the greatest nation in the world. So
arguing and bickering over Facebook comments isn't going to change the world. You have to go out and do it yourself.
Seriously, I know it. It drives me crazy. It's like you'll never change anybody's mind on Facebook. Never. It's not going to happen. You could be Jordan Peterson or some great psychologist, and you're not going to change somebody's mind. You got to do it with your feet at the ballot box. That's how you do it. That's how you make that stuff happen. So anyways, I'll get off my high horse when it comes to elections, but get out there and register and vote and do it. And don't forget to watch. Yes. And don't forget to watch our debate October 16th. It's going to be a good one. 6 to 8 p.m. So I didn't mention it's going to be 2 hours long too. So 2 50-minute segments. I'm going to give the candidates 20 minutes in between so they can go and have a refresh. And then come back and go right back into it. It's going to be pretty cool, I think. We've got some neat stuff lined up to kind of keep them on their toes and get them really thinking and get them really conversating. And that's ultimately what I want. I want to see them going back and forth.
I think it's great that you're doing this. I mean, what a great thing that we're being afforded by, the media department here in town. It's wonderful.
Yeah. No, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
I wish it, sometimes I wish it was easier. Just the coordination can be tough, getting candidates and, making sure everybody's on the same page and agreeing to this, that, and the other thing. But, having a debate here where it only serves two communities, that rep seat serves Tyngsborough and Drake-it, and that's it. It makes sense that we should have a debate. We should have our own debate where people can, the residents get to ask those questions directly of the candidates. So, I'm working hard just to make it as good as I can and open it up as much as possible so that you can all take part and ask your questions and get the information you need, because you know what, November 6th, you're going to walk into the poll and go, who do I vote for? You're going to have that marker in hand and those few dots, and it's like, who do I pick? I want you to be able to look back at the debate and the other interviews I've done as well with the candidates, the one-on-one interviews, and think like, oh, I really liked what so-and-so had to say. Maybe that sways you one way or the other, or I agree with their ideals versus, the other candidate and so on. So hopefully you'll get that information from it and be able to make a good informed decision here in Tyngsborough. So very cool stuff. What else do we want to talk about, Julia?
Did you want to skip the trivia question?
Oh yeah, we didn't do the trivia. That's right. We still have a few. Well, what time is it? We got 5 minutes. We can do it. We can do it. I wanted to do that at the beginning. I
know.
I
I'm
forgot.
sorry.
You didn't remind me. What happened?
Oh my god.
Where were you?
We went right into festival, and it was.
I kind of did, didn't I?
I got a little excited about Christmas tree.
I guess I did. Yeah, I'm sorry. So we have Julia and I made a little excursion yesterday to go find this spot that has been discussed in town, or at least told to us by a couple people. And we're going to show a picture of it, and we want you to guess where we were. If you can guess where we were, then I have a Tyngsborough, Mass pin that I will give to you if you can guess this. I'm going to put it up on screen now. Clearly, it's a cemetery, obviously. But if you are still watching and you can guess where exactly we were in Tyngsborough, name that cemetery, then you will win a Tyngsborough, Massachusetts pin. And we'll show some other photos of it after if somebody does guess it. But yeah, if you can guess where we were, the name of that cemetery, then you will win. So pretty cool. It was fun. It was a fun little adventure. We had to trudge through the woods and
went the wrong way.
We went the wrong way. We're like through private property. Some guy, he wasn't bad, thankfully. They were very nice, the people that were over there. He's like, this is private property. We're like, oh, whoops, sorry.
We're
We didn't
from
know.
the town.
No idea. Yeah. I pulled my I worked for the town card, and and he was fine. They were okay with it anyways. But we told them where we were going, so they were fine with that. But it was pretty funny, just trying to get there. The mosquitoes are still attacking, unfortunately, even though it's fall or almost fall. You'd think they got the memo, but I guess not.
It's not cold enough.
Quite too cold.
Right.
Yeah.
No. And I don't want it to get too cold too quick. I really don't. I'm not looking forward to this winter.
No. I like the cool air, but the cold I could do without.
Yeah, I'm with you. I could do without that. I hate the snow. Like I'm not a skier, and no offense to anybody who likes the snow activities, but I'm not a skier. I don't have a snowmobile. I don't have snowshoes. I don't like to be cold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm probably going to be one of those old people that's like, I'm going to move to Florida, or Arizona or something, But I'm not looking forward to the winter coming up, but that's okay. It'll still be good. Hopefully we don't get whacked like the Farmer's Almanac is saying.
Is it?
That's what I keep reading that, and it's making me nervous.
As long as we don't get another gigantic storm of like 10 feet of snow in March, I'll be good.
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
be
man.
fine.
That was rough. If
That
that doesn't happen this year, I'll be a happy camper, because that was a rough winter.
There
I
was
was-
multiple,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was living in Chelmsford at the time. We didn't have power for like 4 days.
Wow,
It was
really?
brutal, yeah.
We lost power for, what did we lose? Just a couple hours at one point, but then
Wow.
it came
Aren't
right
you
back
lucky?
pretty quickly. Yeah,
you are lucky.
yeah. Well, and the funny thing is we're way out. Like
Yeah, you're way out.
we're pretty far out
Yeah.
there in Brookline. I mean, it's not close to any major centers for sure. So we only lost it for those couple hours, and our plow guys do a pretty good job up there. Surprisingly. The plow guys here in Tyngsborough actually do a really good job too. I'm surprised. I went out last
Right, I
winter with
remember, yeah.
Bob Morency and got some good footage, but that is not an easy job.
No.
I mean, I've witnessed it, watched it, but then when you're riding in the truck and you're watching the blades move and the cars are whizzing by you or like cutting around you, which is a whole nother subject, but wow, that's a job. It's
Yeah.
no joke. I mean, you can one wrong move and you can do some serious damage.
Well, I think staying on the road is key.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Seriously.
when it's first begun, God love them.
Or not
yeah.
like peeling off
Yeah.
the sides of cars with
Right.
the edge of the blade
Yep.
and stuff. I mean, there's some major blind spots. It's a pretty interesting gig to do that.
Yeah.
So hats off to those guys when they're out there. And if you are driving on the roads when it does come to snow time and the plows are out, do not cut around them. They can't see you. for in a lot of spaces around that truck.
Crowd
So
the plow.
yeah, don't crowd the plows. Be super careful. We watched that happen just in that day with Bob.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, probably 6 or 7 times people would like do absolutely idiotic things around the plows. Like, what is wrong with you? You know, this thing weighs like 6 times what your car weighs. You know, if not more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's my gripe. You know, but yeah, I just hope that doesn't happen. So we'll see. Keep our fingers crossed.
Moving on from crappy weather.
Yes. Let's talk about something good.
The nice weather is here, and we should all, anyone in town should submit some photos to our photo contest.
Yes, I have had the best response so far for photo contest. I'm up to almost 20 individual responses, and each one of them have just about all of them have sent in 2 photos. So we're going to be over my numbers for last year for the photo contest. It ends on the 22nd noontime. Tomorrow is the last day and time to submit your photos. So get them in sbrogan@tyngsboroughma.gov. Everybody is allowed 2 photos. 2. Just remember that. 2 photos. I had somebody send me in 15. I was like,
You're going to save some of them
You
for
gotta
next
limit
time.
yourself,
save
right,
some
you
for
know?
next year. No,
Yeah.
I was fine. I just sent them an email and said, hey, just two photos, but they're fine. But yeah, submit. Started on the 17th. The submission period ends tomorrow at noontime. And then next week, they will go public on Facebook, and you'll be able to go and vote for your favorite photos. And then at the end of that voting period, the likes, the one with the most likes will be the winner of that portion. And then I will pick from the remaining a Director's Choice Award. I will tell you right now, there are some incredible photos that
Yes,
came in.
oh my goodness.
Unbelievable. Like every single time we do this contest, I'm stunned at the level of just awesome shots. You know, some of them you can tell they're like, well timed, you know, they happen to hit it at just the right time, and others you can tell they're, you know, from photographers who really know what they're doing. But both, I mean, doesn't matter. They're awesome. Some of these photos, one of them was like, actually just put it up as my desktop screen because it was such an awesome photo. I'm like, wow, I like this. Really, really good photo. So, you know,
And
yeah.
don't let anybody's professionalism, scare you away. I mean, I've
Right.
taken stunning photos. I'm by no means a photographer, but I've taken, in my opinion, very stunning photos on my cell phone. So anything that you think is good, send it in.
Anything qualifies. Yeah, I've seen, and I can tell usually where they've come from, whether it's from a nice camera
Yeah.
or a cell phone or whatever else. There's all kinds of different things people take them with. But, don't be afraid to take pictures with whatever camera you have, because it's not necessarily the overall quality of the image, the amount of pixels and all that stuff. It's the framing, the composition, the imagery in the photograph, maybe the scenario, the lighting, whatever it is you happen to catch. That's what really sets it apart from all the others. I've seen some that, are pretty low quality, but the image itself is great. It's a fantastic image and clearly should or could be a winner in a photo contest. So don't be afraid to. If you're not a pro, I want to see your photos still. And if you are a pro, I still want to see your photos, because it doesn't matter if you're a pro or not. I've seen it go both ways. So.
Yep. And this is only for people that live in town, right?
Correct. Yes. You have to live or work in Tyngsborough.
Live or work.
So if you work in Tyngsborough, you can also take part in the contest. You're welcome to. Again, sbrogan@tyngsboroughma.gov. You can email in photographs that way, and everybody's allowed 2 photos. Just make sure and include your name and address. And if you do not live in Tyngsborough, just put the business that you work for, so that I can at least know that you're from town in some way. But yeah, and it's even open to town employees. So Allison, if you want to send us a photo,
I'll have to
you're
think
welcome
about it. Scroll through.
Yeah.
But I think that people should know as well that you are great about putting them up here in Town Hall. So once your contest is over, all those pictures don our walls here in Town Hall, which I love it. I love looking at them.
Nice.
And it's fun to have them change, with each contest that you have. So
Yeah.
it's a great thing, even for here in Town Hall.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you guys appreciate that. I put them up in the library for the month after the contest concludes, after the winners have been chosen, and so they hang in the library for that month, which is nice. You get to see them there, and then after that fact, I take them, as many as I can fit. I take and put down the hallway of the selectmen. In front of the selectman's office, so as you're walking through, you can watch them or look at them that way, which is always nice. It's funny because when I first started doing this, there was just a lot of naked walls in the building, and it's really kind of changed. Like, it makes it feel a little more homey and
It does.
and
It's
stuff,
nice.
which is
It's nice to walk through that main office over from the community room to inspection and be able to see all those photos.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
anytime I go visit Colin, I'm like, oh, look it.
It gives a little bit of life to the building. You know, it's
Yeah.
nice. You
Yep.
get to see a little life. And they're the community photos. None of these are my photos. These are all the community
Yeah.
photos,
Right.
which is awesome. And then even the good ones, or the ones that people most like, end up getting used sometimes in some cases in our print materials.
Yes.
So town meeting handbooks and whatever else, we use them for that. I might even do like a town info calendar or something at some point with
That
some of
would
the
be
photos.
fun.
Yeah, have one for each month, and
Yeah.
then have some interesting information, contact information for whatever departments, or how to register to vote, or whatever the case may be.
For like each month. That would be that's such a good idea. We should do that.
Yeah, I thought that would be kind of neat. I already did that a little bit with the trail sheets that I had created.
Right.
And so you can have, there's a lot of contact information, phone numbers, and all that stuff on the back of that.
So you really have like redecorated the town hall.
I
since
kind of
you-
have, actually, haven't I?
You
Yeah.
have.
I don't know. My mom was always into decorating. I guess I got a little of her touch,
Yeah.
and
we
watching
have-
you do trees.
We have
and
new
stuff.
brochures. We have nice displays with rolling, scrolling,
Yeah,
TV information.
Yeah, I did do
we
that
have
as well, yeah.
beautiful pictures. Yeah.
Trying to bring up.
We're
the,
going to see what's next.
Yeah, I know, right?
To
What else
put you
am I
on the
gonna
hot seat. Yeah.
I'm trying to get Matt to let me put in a little weather station outside so we can. Yeah, that would be cool. We'll
That
see.
would be neat.
See if he gives it to
Yeah,
me. See if he
that'd be
lets me do
fun.
it. But I thought that would be neat with a station up on the
Mhm.
building somewhere. You could log into it on the internet and see what readings it's giving out. And I think it gave like 10 different parameters: rainfall and barometer, and wind speed and all that stuff, temperature and all this, the usual
That'd
stuff.
be great.
Yeah, I thought that'd be pretty cool. So just trying to step it up a little bit, keep things fresh and new and whatnot. So so again, if you have not already, don't forget to join in our photo contest. I'd love to see your photos. I'm probably still getting photos. I got a couple this morning. They just keep coming in though. So definitely don't forget to do that. So anything else, Julia?
We could go back to the trivia question, and then you wanted to talk about the weather.
I didn't see any answers for the trivia question.
Oh,
Okay. Well, that's all right. We can save it for Monday for the news.
We will.
We can talk about it then. So kind of funny story, I guess, if you want to pull that up on your computer screen. This has been the talk lately, at least on NHPR, and I've heard it on some of the mass stations as well. In fact, yesterday I was listening to the radio, and there was a couple of stations, different DJs, talking about all of the squirrels in the road. Have you noticed this?
Someone one of the actually women that we work with here in town hall had mentioned they have a place up north, and she was discussing about the abundance of squirrels and how there were multiple on the roads.
Yeah.
Which I had not noticed until she brought it to my attention. Same with you.
Yeah, it's like squirrelocalypse
Yeah.
out there.
Yep.
I mean, it's unbelievable how many are in the roads. There's a bend, one of the highways up in New Hampshire, a little further up, but on the bend, everybody's been saying there's like hundreds of them on the roadway, and they just going crazy back and forth, and they're getting hit left and right, unfortunately, the poor little things. But I had heard on NHPR, one of the EPA, it was the New Hampshire EPA people, had come on and said that one of the reasons was the trees, the oak trees that produce the nuts, acorns. There was like a big boom in the amount of acorns that they produced, so that provided extra food for the squirrels and everything else that eats them. But the squirrels have then had this big baby boom, and just like way more than normal anyways. I mean, we're used to seeing some squirrels on the road, but not like this.
No, there are many.
It's like every 20 feet you see another one. You kind of feel bad. In fact, one ran in front of me on the highway this morning when I was coming to work. I'm like, where are you going? That's funny. Oh my goodness. But yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
How did the squirrel get to the other side of the road? Oh my goodness.
Stop. He didn't make it.
Some of them don't. Yeah.
I feel like most of them don't. It's kind of sad.
Wow.
It's so sad for these poor little guys.
No,
but,
you'd be amazed how many squirrels there are. They're fine. They're thriving.
They definitely are. They're doing okay.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not worried about them for next year.
Yeah.
So, but it's just kind of funny and sad at the same time. You don't want to see anything get squashed. But boy, what an interesting situation. Anyway, so that was what was going to lead us into the weather, because the fall season starts basically the day after tomorrow is the first day of fall, because tomorrow is the last day of summer. If you didn't know that already. Dun dun dun. Unfortunately, Julia, you have
I have the weather pulled up.
All right.
Yes,
you have the weather. All right, so this is from National Weather Service. Looks pretty good actually.
it does.
Other than lower temperatures, in the 60s.
So today's going to be about 73, mostly cloudy. Saturday is going to be gorgeous if you're hitting any kind of festival or fair. It's going to be 68 degrees, mostly sunny. A low of 48 Saturday night. Sunday is going to be gorgeous, mostly sunny, high of 67. And then Monday, where if you have the day off, I feel like a lot of people took that day off for some reason. 60 degrees on Monday, and it's going to be sunny. And then Tuesday, it's going to rain.
Now, why would people take the day off?
I don't know.
Is it a holiday that day,
I just
something?
I heard a couple of people take it off, so I know that.
Oh, okay.
Like an extended weekend. I know a lot of people that have Monday off.
Okay, I was actually going to look at my calendar. I just wanted to see what
you were missing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, nothing. I
missing?
think I just heard a lot of people took it off.
Ooh, we should talk about this. So I, for the first time, tried yoga last
you
Monday.
did?
This past Monday.
I love
was
yoga.
awesome.
It is awesome.
I mean, and I'm not going to rip on it because guys, we
Talk
tend
about
to be a little bit
how manly yoga is.
Yeah,
Come on.
we tend to be a little bit macho when it comes to yoga, stupid stuff like that. But I liked it. I actually very much enjoyed it.
It's true.
I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. The whole rest of the day, I had this like nice kind of euphoric feeling going on. Everything felt pretty light and a little more stretchy, which is nice. It was interesting. But Allison Marcello, another A name.
Right. Yep.
It's too many Allisons.
It's the same, right? Yeah.
Allison Marcello does one here for the staff.
Yes.
That we pay for, but it's very nominal. But she comes in and does this great yoga class for us, so that was a lot of fun. So if you're a staff person watching, Bob Morency, and you and you want to come down and join in on yoga, you should, dude. It's fun. It was a good time. Can you imagine Bob Morency doing yoga?
I want him here.
Hilarious. That'd be awesome. I was gonna try to get Paul Welcome to do it too.
Go.
But I don't think he would. He'd probably just assume throw me to do yoga. But
No, it was pretty popular too. So if anyone from town's interested.
Yeah, there was quite a few people who joined in. So, if you're looking for something interesting to maybe relieve some tension and some stress and, open up your blood flow, basically.
I think that she does a nice job because if you're a newbie to yoga,
yes,
she explains to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't feel like you're out of that fish out of water. Everybody else knows what they're doing.
Right. You don't feel intimidated.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's great about, if you can't do it this way, do this. If you need this block, use that. I really enjoyed her class. She does a great job.
And she has a perfect voice for it. She's got a very soothing, smooth, soft voice where like she does the guided meditation at the end. I mean, I practically fell asleep. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It really was awesome. It's not like and I'm not a gym rat necessarily. I never really cared for it. And you can tell, obviously, but
stop. You're fine.
But you go to the gym and there's like all these big hulking dudes and they're pounding like 200 pound whatevers. I walk in, I'm like, give me my little 50 pounds. It's awful, but it was cool. It was very, she brings it down and she makes it easy. Gives you, the whole first class was just going over like the moves,
right?
And so the next class we'll get into a little more, I'm sure.
Well, and it's amazing when you get into the class a little bit more how much you realize that you're not as in shape as you think you are.
Yeah.
But it's great because you're like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's a great. I loved her class. She did a great job.
She really did. By the end of it, I not only did I not think I was going to sweat, I was sweating like crazy. Well, not crazy, but I was sweating quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I was hurting that night and the next day, like not hurting, but real bad, but like I could feel that I stretched some things that hadn't been stretched in a long time.
It's usually that second day, right?
Yes.
The second day's the worst.
The next morning, I got up and I'm like, oh, where's my Motrin?
But there's a little bit of satisfaction in that
Always.
that you've done something and it's like, all right, it's good for the body.
Yeah, it's good for you.
Yeah.
And it's not high impact. And she teaches you lots of different ways to do it so that it works for your body. You're not, if your wrists hurt or if your ankles or knees or whatever, she's got all these like different extra ways you can do things.
Yes, she can modify
and
for
she
you.
wasn't pushy. She's not going to sit there and like push you over and try and get you to do some,
right,
pretzel
not at
leg
all.
move and then you can't get out of it.
Yep.
I mean, there's even moves, and she's perfectly not afraid to admit it, that she can't even really do. The Lotus one was one. She was like trying to do it, and and she's I'd call her an expert,
right?
And she even has her. Not all these moves are like easy,
No.
Yeah. So that was fun. That was a good time. So,
good.
so that's about all we have for today. I think we're going to wrap it up. Again, Festival of Trees. Don't forget to contact Allison if you want to either volunteer your time or if you want to pitch in and
Volunteer?
do a tree, decorate a tree or do something like that, you can volunteer for the event itself, or you can, there's multiple different ways you can take part in that. So contact her. You can go to tyngsboroughRec.com, or you can email her apage@tyngsboroughma.gov. And you have even the Festival of Trees email
Holiday
address.
Festival of Trees at Gmail.
There you go. So you can contact her multiple different ways if you want to help out. It's always nice to see the community take part and get involved in these things. And if you need to do some community service, again, another way you can get some community service hours done if that's what you need to do. So that's going to be a really, really fun event. And it starts, was it November 29th?
It's
you
coming
said,
up,
right?
yes,
Yeah, it's coming up
yep.
quick.
Yep.
So, boy, it's feel like Christmas. How many days left? Can you Google that real quick? How
Oh
many
my
days left till
gosh.
Christmas?
It's like 93.
Yeah, I was going to say it's in the 90s. Yeah.
I just checked the other day. It's like 93.
You missed the 100 mark.
I
Sorry.
guess I did. Hello,
Yeah, it was at the beginning of
Amazon.
the
Here I come. Time to get all that shopping done. Oh, boy, I'll tell you, before we wrap up, that is the worst thing for me, is having to go do the last minute shopping, like at the mall or something. And I'm literally running around with like 1,000 other dads or men in general who are like, oh my God, I didn't get something for my significant other. I got to go find, we're like picking through the leftovers.
My own dad was known for going shopping on the 24th.
Really?
Christmas Eve every year. Yep.
That's why I
Known
love
for it.
Amazon now. It's so much easier. You can knock all of it out in like 5 minutes.
Well,
Takes all the fun and stress out of it, Steve. Jeez.
I still think it's fun. I just like buying stuff, but
it's fine if you know what you're looking for.
But
Yeah.
But if
that's
you
a good
have
point.
to shop, you still have to go to the store.
Yeah.
That's a good point. You
Yeah.
do sometimes have to go to get
Yeah.
ideas, and there's certain things you can't really get online. Like I
Right.
like to buy. My wife, I like to get her something from Swarovski, like the little pendants and things like that. You got to go to the store for that. You
Right.
can't really get it. You can get it online, but it's
Unless you know.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you want to see it. Is it sparkly? Is it
Right.
this or that?
There you
know?
go.
Yeah. So,
The
anyways,
answer is 95. 95 days till Christmas.
95
Wow.
days till Christmas. So keep that in mind. 95 days till Christmas. Also, don't forget October 16th is the debate that I'm putting together from 6 to 8 p.m. with State Representative Colleen Gary and her challenger, Republican challenger Ray Lazinski. So that's going to be pretty fun and interesting and eye-opening, I'm sure, for a lot of folks to get a lot of good information. And then the next day is the last day of voting. So if you want to register to vote in this election, you got to do it by October 17th. You can do it here at Town Hall. You can do it online at mass.gov on the Secretary of the Commonwealth's page. So lots of different ways you can get that accomplished. And then the Hamburgers for Heroes, September 23rd is that. Hamburgers for Heroes. And our own town photo contest tomorrow at noontime is the last day for you to, last day and time for you to submit your photos for the photo contest. I've got a ton of them already, but I'm always excited to see more come in. So it's already been quite popular, even more than the last one, which had been the biggest one to date. So I'm very impressed and pleased that so many people take part in this. I'm really actually quite humbled by the fact that all these people take part in this. So very cool. With all that said, folks, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's going to be beautiful. Don't forget you can watch our broadcasts on Facebook, on the various pages we shared across, on our YouTube page, also at tyngsboroughma.gov on our video on demand and streaming service, and on Comcast Channel 8 and Verizon Channel 29. Any questions for me, feel free to send those in, sbrogan@tyngsboroughma.gov. Thank you, ladies, both for being here today. I appreciate your time coming in and talking about the festivals and whatnot. And all that said, folks, have a great rest of the day, and I will see you all Monday with the news. Bye, everybody.